I was killing it, dude. I was making $20K a year.
Oh, shit, dude.
Yeah, I was set, man.
Yeah.
Barely getting by.
That's a life, dude. Kick back and worry about everything.
Just kicking back, anxious. Really just chilling out, anxious.
Hell yeah, man. So, I don't know if you've ever watched my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I have actually.
I try to do two things since the beginning of time. I try to be helpful and funny. So you just came off a situation where you were part of this, I don't even know what you would call it, internet collective of boys.
Kind of like we're like the Brockhampton of YouTube.
You say all these names.
As I was saying it, I was like, Mike doesn't know who Brockhampton is.
Stick to the wrestling jokes, man.
Okay, we're like evolution of YouTube.
Okay, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And Autumn's Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And I'm Triple H.
Yeah.
Steve's Batista got Autumn on her shoulders. On her shoulders.
Yeah.
And Kib's
hilarious visual.
And Kib's
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
Yeah. Wheeling and dealing and what have you.
Yeah, so that's what we were to YouTube.
So when SourceFed ended, you guys broke off and you did this thing. And you were like, we're going to be crazy.
No, it was all Steve. Steve was like, had gone to Kib and been like, just filming his shit. Like he started from day one, just going to a place and seeing what happened. He went to Kib's and just filmed it and it became a thing. And because I had shot some other stuff for him, like while we were still at SourceFed, and we got along well. So he was like, "Yeah, come and shoot this stuff with us and be in these videos and stuff." And I was like, "Cool."
And that's how we knew each other. Is you were camera op for I was a big fan. You were camera op in SourceFed.
I was a PA.
PA, whatever.
Well, I was operating the cameras. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing way
camera
more
op
than
is a cooler job than PA.
Oh yeah. No, I put executive producer on my resume.
Yeah.
SourceFed.
I knew you as the guy I was mean to, and I refused to memorize your name. And that's who you are to me.
I didn't ever think you were mean to me.
I was trying every day.
Really?
No, I used to love to make you guys laugh, especially when we were doing the white wall things. If I saw you guys laughing, I was like, I don't care if anybody else likes it. Got it.
That was my favorite thing to shoot because I knew, I was like, okay, if Mike or Steve are on this, oh man, I'm going to have a good morning.
Yeah. I like doing them with everybody.
I'm going to bust my gut.
There was a couple situations, just a little break for a set. And there were a couple there were a couple situations where people didn't want to do them. Okay. Anyway, those were some of my favorite things to do. And then it kind of changed where we got pushed in a direction to make all of them a lot more serious. And I was like, that's not what we're here for. We're not. And I would be in these meetings and I'd be like, we're not fucking journalists. None of us have a journalism degree. Yeah. We all just like being funny on the internet. And you're making us be super serious.
And that is like an amazing point.
Thank you so much. And that'll be genuinely it for
because and that's where we're going to actually end it today, guys.
Thank you so much again for.
No, but like literally, it's like know what you are, be self-aware in what you're making. Don't try to be something you're not, and do that one thing the best you can. And that's obviously what grew SourceFed to what it was the whole time. And maybe once in a while do a serious one. It'll be refreshing to hear like a more serious take on something, but you guys are fucking comedians, man.
Yeah.
Like,
and you wouldn't believe the amount of pushback I got
for just wanting to keep it funny.
Yeah, man. Because I was like, dude, it's not our responsibility to do this.
Who was wanting it to be more serious?
I don't want to say any names.
Know. It was Steven Suptic. And I fucking knew it, man.
The worst parts of SourceFed were when a couple people were in a bad mood and it ruined everybody's day. And the best parts of SourceFed is when everyone kept it light and everyone was in a great mood, which is a very like elementary thing to say.
No, it's...
But like the last couple weeks of SourceFed were honestly like very... obviously like emotionally taxing, but when we were filming all the stuff, we were like, okay, all the pressure's off.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about terrible things every day.
We want.
Yeah. And so it got better before it ended.
Yeah.
But you just had a situation where you were in like a dream job like situation for a couple years since SourceFed ended, and it was definitely the most popular SourceFed branch off thing that happened, which must have felt great. And it all happened very organically for you guys. You were like, we're just going out and we're having fun and people like it, and so many people like it. And then you did that for how many years? 4? 3?
2.
2 years?
Like a little
That's all
over
it was?
2. Yeah,
because it felt like forever.
I know, right, dude? It was like, well, it was March of 2017, so it was a little over 2 years. Almost 2 and some change.
So what happened in 2? How did it change in 2 years?
Well, there's the different phases of it.
Phases take time to go in and out.
And phases are kind of like stages in a way.
You remember that song? Phases.
Nope, I'm thinking of changes.
Yeah.
Phases.
Yeah.
When we were doing it just us, like fully independently, it was so organic and it was so like free because we were just doing it how we wanted and like on our own kind of schedule and pace, and obviously like it worked.
Before you were like part of a company.
Yeah, before we got partnered with Rooster Teeth. And then even when we were partnered with Rooster Teeth, it was still great because it was like us fully, and they were just like selling our merch and giving us brand deals and stuff.
Yeah.
As you do.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that selling was a mistake. I think it was necessary at the time.
Go ahead and take that.
Okay.
Do you have another podcast that you have to be on?
It was an alarm.
If you're still here, call the police.
If you're still at Mike's, you should wrap it up. It's just an alarm. Wrap it up. So I actually have to take this.
Like, I know for sure that's an alarm sound. You don't have to.
Hello? Hold on, I have to take this. Hello?
You're outside. Crazy.
Oh, no. Hold on.
So anyway, you're in your phases. Even when you don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was a necessary thing to do at the time. Sustaining Sugar Pine 7 in the way that we were, we would have had to make a lot of serious changes on ourselves to kind of keep it going that way. Steve was still doing like everything at that point. And I think
this is before Autumn.
No, I think Autumn was there, but I mean like Autumn was editing obviously for us, but Steve was still like actually like in charge of everything.
Like producing everything.
Yeah, like it all had to kind of go through Steve. And that was great. That's why it worked. But I know that was draining on him. Yeah. Like having to be doing all of that. Kip and I would help as much as we can, but it was still at that point a lot of Steve running the ship. And when we got acquired on, and we talked about this, I don't know if you listened to our podcast where we
I do not. Okay. Unless I'm on it.
It was a pretty good podcast.
Is the one where you guys are in bed like Grandpa Joe? From Charlie's Chocolate Town?
The whole town's made of chocolate. Dude, that would actually be an amazing setup for a podcast.
Until summer comes.
4 legs like that in a bed, 2 cameras.
Dude, if we should do a
one camera under the blanket with the feet.
Feet cam. The sickly old feet cam.
Oh. So we got acquired and, we moved to the Culver City office and stuff. And I was excited about that. Kid was excited about that. We were all excited about that. Steve definitely started to feel less and less like it was his, because, and it makes sense. I didn't like, I'm considered a co-founder of Sugar Pine 7, but it wasn't like my inception of an idea being like, let's do this. Yeah,
for sure.
And so I can absolutely understand that like distance that grew from like how close he felt to the project.
And like frustration probably.
Yeah, definitely. It's totally understandable. But there were a lot of like places I saw within our company that needed to be filled. And so I like hardcore stepped up and like filled in all those places. Like I became our producer.
Nice.
And uploaded all of our stuff and like did all that shit. So I was like,
just to take the weight off him.
Yeah, just to like help balance all the workload, because up until then it was, and we brought Vicky on as our assistant editor. Up until then it was Autumn and Vicky editing everything and uploading and shit too. And we were basically just, Steve, Kip and I were basically just like thinking of ideas and shooting them. But I realized like this could be spread out more and like take the weight off everyone so it's more balanced.
Yeah.
And that's why I took on doing some stuff.
It sucks when you have to figure out how to do that on the job.
Dude, I figured out what YouTube was.
Yeah.
Like, I easily had the
like
least
the height
experience.
of your popularity?
Well, not quite the height, but it was like, yeah. But it was like, okay, now we're going to be more of a business. Hey, James, I said to myself, figure out YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Figure out how to do this.
Read YouTube, the book.
Read YouTube. Hey, everybody. That'd actually be the name of the book for
Hey,
like
everybody.
YouTube.
Yeah,
hey, everybody,
guys.
welcome back. But I easily had the least experience with like YouTube from all of us, and so I like figured it out. And Bruce Green, you know Bruce, right? Yeah, Bruce.
Not personally, but I know I've seen him on Twitter.
Right. Yeah, he does have a beard.
Yeah.
Um,
Loves autumn. The season.
He does love fall.
Yeah.
He was put in place to be our manager and just help us like get shit together, get in our schedule and stuff like that. And he really took me under his wing, just like teaching me a lot about like the back end of YouTube and stuff and the analytics and what to watch for trends and shit like that.
And are you interested in that, or are you just doing
It's
it
interesting
yeah.
to like understand this enigma of an industry that I think is out of control.
Yeah.
And I think that the creators of YouTube and everybody who's like running it don't know how to like do it.
Yeah.
They don't know how to like handle this monster they've created.
Yeah, man.
You know
I
what I
saw
mean?
all of it, man. It started as there were 7 of us that did YouTube. There were 7 people.
Yeah.
And we all met in New York City once a year.
Sugar Pine 7.
Sugar Pine, 7 people. And then it grew into like a town. And then it grew into a city and a state. And now it's a world.
And now it's a city-state.
It's one city-state.
It's like
governing its own.
Yeah, it's like Vatican
And the flag
City.
is offensive. And imagine being like a company and trying to govern this world, and you can't do it. So you're learning about all this stuff, and the channel's getting popular.
Literally during the entire last year, there was just a slow yet steady decline in viewership.
Yeah.
But I mean, as they say, hindsight's 20/20.
Sure.
Looking back, we absolutely shouldn't have been uploading as much content as we did. 6 videos
You were
a
doing
week.
it every day. That's so much,
Yeah.
man. That's so much.
And so it was like, and we're trying to get some backlog. So it's like, we're shooting like 7 a week. And it was just insane. It's hard to like fully see where you're at and process exactly what the right thing to do is when you're in the moment living it and you're fucking grinding it out.
And it's
like
hard
that.
to be funny when you don't have 2 seconds to like think about what you're gonna say.
Yep.
So much of like content now is, and I don't want to be old like fuddy-duddy YouTuber person.
Well, you are.
No, but I was never a YouTuber.
You are.
That's a word they came up with.
Look, fuddy-duddy is exactly.
Fuddy-duddy I'd rather have than
That's
YouTuber
funny, man, 'cause
or
that's
influencer. Fud-dud is my SoundCloud name. Fud Daddy. Funny Daddy.
Funny Daddy. And you're just like, I don't want to fucking listen to Funny Daddy.
Welcome back. I'm Funny Daddy.
Welcome back, Funny Daddy.
I don't like. I heard myself in the headphones. I muted myself.
No, that was me. You heard me.
Oh shit! It did sound different, but still Italian a little bit.
Hey, oh.
But it's like so much of this shit now is just like, we'll say a bunch of shit and make something out of it later, and there's no like, not second guessing, but taking a minute to be like, is what I'm saying funny, or are we just like saying shit? You can make things good if you step back and
think about
give it the
and
time it
develop
needs.
and
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's.
Do you feel like you didn't have the chance to do any of that, or did you feel like you were already going at a like you were in a groove, so like things were always working?
Kind of. I mean, there were definitely like videos that we did where we were like, whatever, like it is what it is. And then there were ones that were great, like we thought had a great little story in it, you know, and our stuff became a lot more episodic where it was like each episode is kind of its own little thing. You don't have to know what's going on, but if you do, it makes it that much better.
Like little gifts for the people
Yeah.
who are. That's nice.
Yeah,
Rewarding.
it was gifts. Yeah, we would send gifts out.
3-minute long gifts, and then the viewership
An
starts
entire
going down.
GIF.
It's like in
no
the first-
audio.
in the first 6
It's like that
seconds.
shitty quality where it's like
It says like makeagif.net.
we didn't even make our own ones, man. We just put the shit into a website.
Yeah,
dude.
and I mean that's smart. You got to
Yeah,
cut
and there's
corners.
a watermark on
and that's
every
when you
GIF.
fired Autumn, when you decided to make GIFs instead of episodes.
Yeah, she wasn't good at gifts, dude. She just didn't get it, man.
Dude, she's so talented in so many different areas.
Yeah.
Can't make a GIF to save her life.
Like telepathy, she's great at that.
Juggling, sure. Throwing axes. Autumn got it.
Throwing things in general, and like yeah, just
Yeah.
she's great. She's great aim.
You guys made a movie at some point.
That was before.
That was before this.
Yeah, that was our height, I think.
Uh-huh.
Around like the woods, like when we won the streaming and stuff, because that was all so surreal. That's when I felt the most like, this is like, we're living our fucking dream right now. You know what I mean? And I don't look down upon anything that we made or this whole experience and everything, because I learned so much and like experienced so much that I know I'm always going to appreciate it. I'm always going to like, it's always going to benefit me, you know?
Yeah.
But that period of time was like, we were working so hard with that short film and had the streamies and stuff too. And like, we ended up winning that. And I was just like, we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it, guys.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Or do you have anything to add to when, like, the slow...
It just kind of kept happening. It kept going, you know,
Yeah.
and like...
do you guys see that and, like, panic and say we got to make more to keep, like, the spikes going up?
It was like, well, that's what we had been trying to do, is to keep putting out so much content so that overall it would be building up,
Yeah.
you know, and be more like monthly views and shit. Because now that we were acquired by RT, we had certain goals we were expected to meet.
Like
and
solid numbers where you got to
Yeah.
be like, if you want to work here, you hit these numbers.
Yeah. And we were always like, we'll try.
Yeah. Is anyone else hearing these numbers?
Yeah, like 100 billion views a month.
Is that even real? Could you do that?
I don't think that's as many people as there are in the world. It's not, right?
I honestly am not the person to ask. I tried to figure out how many
I
Tic
don't know, I'm new
Tacs
here,
were made
man.
once, and I'm...
How many Tic Tacs were made at once?
Yeah.
Like at one
No,
minute?
in
the
have
world
been
forever?
made. Yeah.
Oof, a few hundred
I mean, that's a different podcast altogether.
that I'm working on. It's going to be a narrative-driven podcast.
Me and Grandpa Joe figure out how many Tic Tacs.
How many Tic Tacs are in the world at any given time?
Ask you Fred William Wonka.
Ask you from Bill Wonka's father, Bill Sr.
Bill Wonka used to play for the Portland Trailblazers.
Did he really?
Yeah, now his son coaches.
And now his son is the chocolate guy.
His son is chocolate.
And he was
now.
like, everyone's like, okay, Willy Wonka, look, he's 7'2". No, he's 6'10". He's a perfect point guard.
Yeah.
He was All-American.
Sticky fingers.
And then he went to fucking do chocolate.
He did the
His
family
father
business.
disowned him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sad
Sad.
story. So
Anyways,
let me ask you
the
this.
thing about like building this all up, it made sense. It's one of those things where it's like, yes, that makes sense to do this, to put out more content, to have more views in total. But people were getting just oversaturated to it all because there's so much fucking coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And since there's so much there, it wasn't as like open to new people coming in and watching it, because it's like, where the fuck do you start?
Yeah.
And so it bit us in the butt,
Yeah.
for sure. And I don't think
You ever read that
anyone's-
book, The Creative Curve?
No.
You got to read that
I'm
book.
coming to write that down.
Everyone has to read that book.
Oh, fuck. Actually, I have to head out.
Says here, wrap it up. The
I put
Creative
it on
Curve
snooze
is,
at 8 minutes
Yeah.
later.
So the idea is like you
What
could
is it? The creative curve?
yeah, you could do an audiobook, so you don't have to actually.
That's going to help me because I'm not a reader.
Yeah,
Never learned.
dude, I read it on audiobook, and like
you read it with the audiobook playing
yeah,
as well,
yeah.
so you could
I was
follow
reading
along.
The Lost World, but the audio from Creative Curve was coming in through my.
So I didn't really
headphones.
pick up any of it from either book.
I'm not a big fan of dinosaurs. It's
a lot of work.
But the idea is that like you could see something, you could show an audience something a certain amount of times, and they'll love it
Mm-hmm.
over and over and over again. Then there becomes a point where it gets like stagnant.
Yeah.
And then from there, it just kind of goes down a little bit.
It's
And then
hard
it's
to like bring it back up unless you stop doing it for a while, and there's like a vacancy of it where there
Yeah.
isn't it isn't there anymore, and then you bring it back if you wanted to. And
the idea is that you fill any needs that there are, and some people could look at the world and be like, I wish that there was. I know you gotta go. That there's always gonna be
group message with like 18 people.
That's no good. Snooze
no,
that shit.
Dude. I like last night. I was a little bit high.
Sure.
I was watching some scary videos on YouTube, freaking myself out, having a panic attack.
Good.
And all of a sudden, my phone just goes. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
It's happening. It's a Black Mirror's happening.
And I was like, don't ever add me to a group chat of 18 people.
Yeah, man.
This close to shouting out who the fuck did that, man.
You can.
It was Mike.
They don't. Listen, you don't want to have fun over the phone.
It's a game of telling stories, man. We each add a sentence to the story.
Game of phones. Yeah, so there's an idea that some people could look at the world and what's being made, and they could see there's like a vacuum or like a vacancy that needs to be filled by like a certain new type of content. And I think that was exactly what you guys did, like when SourceFed ended. I think Steve was smart enough to be like, all these people are going to need somewhere to go. Everyone else can't get their shit together. So I'm going to do something, and I'm going to get my best friends, and we're going to do it as many times as possible. And you did. And now I want to ask you about, like, now that it's over, and you said you knew about this when? When did you find out about it?
We knew pretty much all of May.
So what are the feelings like when they first tell you? Did you draw similarities from the SourceFed thing, or was it a completely different because it was your thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was definitely different because with SourceFed, like when everyone was first told, I was kind of like, all right, I'm going to find a new job. Like, I enjoyed working there, but I was a PA. Like, I was like, oh, next job.
This job's done.
And, the fact that it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me and the worst thing that ever happened to everyone else was probably one of my favorite things that's ever happened.
You were smiling the whole time, I remember.
I was like, guys, I'm going to be fine.
You guys don't know this right now, but I'm going to be a little bit better than fine for upwards of 2 years.
Do you want to know how much they paid me? They paid me $20K a year.
And they made all the PAs be super serious, too.
No, at RT. I was killing it, dude. I was making $20K a year.
Oh, shit, dude.
Yeah, I was set, man.
Yeah.
Barely getting by.
That's a life, dude. Kick back and worry about everything.
Just kicking back, anxious. Really just chilling out, anxious.
Hell yeah, man.
Dude, that's just funny. What are you up to, man? I'm just chilling, anxious.
Yeah. I got to be up early tonight.
I gotta have a hard time falling asleep later, so I'm gonna head out.
Yeah. I'll be on Monster.com for the rest of the night, just chilling. If you want to come
drinking
over.
Monsters, getting anxious. No, but for this, it was obviously a lot different, and we had known that this was gonna happen. Like, we had seen this coming for a while, just because we had talks with people in RT, like higher up people that have been kind of trying to be like this is where we want you guys to get at and stuff like that. And we're like, we started trying some new stuff like that variety show and like the music we were doing, some sketches and stuff. And it was fun to try like new shit and add new shit to it. But I think it was just like, it wasn't going to happen. It was just, the timing was off. And so we kind of knew that it was going to happen, and we'd already kind of processed it with each other and stuff. So when it finally happened, it was more so just like, well, here it is.
But now the audience knows.
Now the audience knows, and I'm glad that everybody knows, because
that's a hard month to be like,
yeah, man,
we know what's happening, but you guys are just enjoying it.
Yeah, we had to wait until like our official last day, and then we had to find out or figure out the way that we wanted to tell everyone. Was it one of the vlogs or was it the podcast? And we wanted it to be through
or
one
a song. Or a song.
Or like a puzzle. Like if you solve it, you figure out that we got fired. So the reward is like, fuck, dude.
I got this decoder pin to figure out my
codex.
favorite show is ending. That's not good.
We originally wanted to do it with one of the episodes of Alternative Lifestyle, but Steve was struggling to like finish that episode that we had shot, because he was really going through a hard time, and understandable. So we decided, let's just say it in the podcast, because then that way we can talk about everything really openly and just fill everyone in. And so we did that and put it out, and like the support has been amazing.
Aren't they the best, man?
They are. And it's like, part of me is like, well, where the fuck were you?
The thing is, and I thought about this a lot during the end of SourceFed too, it's like, it's important that people watch. That's kind of like what everything is based on. And people lose track of, especially when you get something every day. And with SourceFed, like several times every day, like the lifeblood is people watching it and enjoying it and sharing it with people. Yeah. And it's unrealistic to think that they're going to share everything with everyone. Yeah. And like people grow up, like your audience grows up
absolutely.
And they grow in and out of watching YouTube and liking certain people.
Or
and they come back
whatever thing happens
away.
In their life, or they're busy and they miss a month of it. And how do you get back in? And it's just shit happens. And I don't blame them at all. It is what it is. But like seeing so many people come back and like on our subreddit being like, well, I hadn't watched in like a few months, and like coming back to this, like it made me want to go back and watch everything that I missed and stuff.
This is my fault.
This is my fault. I actually reported them
I accidentally
to the IRS.
I accidentally flagged every video for the best.
I was trying to like it. And I was like,
I missed. Turns out I needed new glasses. And I was just missing the light.
And what's it called? Like the sensitivity of my mouse was too high. And so I kept kind of missing it. Yeah. Sometimes I flagged it. Sometimes I reported it. I never ended up liking it.
Never watched it.
Never ended up watching it. I had this setting turned on where I'd click on the video and it would start paused. Yeah. So the video would never get a view. No, but yeah, I mean, like just seeing them all, everyone that's been there the whole time, because they're, I mean, an awesome amount of people that have been there the whole time. And like, it's cool when something like this happens because you're able to really see like all those people as actual people, you know, because they're all messaging you, they're all posting stuff. And like Steve's fiance Alyssa started this hashtag like what SB7 means. Oh yeah, yeah.
I participated.
You did. That was great.
Yeah.
And like seeing everybody replying to that, and I was trending on Twitter and shit, and I was just like, you know, man. It's crazy.
Well, you create a worthwhile thing. I think the thing, and I don't know, because I didn't watch as much as everybody else, but
and I don't know. I actually wasn't really into your guys' stuff.
I always liked you guys very much, and I respected what you did so much, and the fact that, you know, Steve was able to recognize this hole that was left by SourceFed and then fill it with this new thing that ended up feeling very much like a Curb Your Enthusiasm for YouTube, and that's something that there never was a good version of. And then you guys skyrocketed with this great thing, and obviously, like, I've had awesome jobs that end. You now have had awesome jobs that ended. These things just end.
Had awesome job.
You had
ended.
Awesome job end.
Yeah, man.
But so this is going back to the first thing I said, where I trying to be helpful and funny by the end of this. And funny, I think we missed the mark several times during our talk.
Right.
But is there anything that I'm 34 and you're 24? Is there anything I want to figure out, like what you want to do next? And I know you're also figuring that out.
Yeah.
And then I want to give you any kind of helpful. I have a roommate and a wife. What makes you think I have a job for you?
I could camera operate this.
We're obviously doing fine. You've been replaced by sticks. You're taking some time for yourself to figure out what you want to do next.
Exactly. And
do you have
any
ideas?
Yeah, I definitely have some ideas. I have an idea for my own show on YouTube that I want to do. And I'm going to be like really like personal about it. And I want to take my time with it. You know, I'm not going to Tuesdays and Thursdays, there's going to be a new episode. It's like, no, you'll get a new episode when I'm finished with it.
That's the dream.
Yeah. And so, but I want that to be like my side thing. I obviously need money. I'm thinking about getting
on Tuesdays
stocks.
and Thursdays, I'm going to actually be.
So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to be doing reviews of pottery.
I would watch that for a little while.
Because I'm kind of just like, yeah, so this one's got blue on it.
And that's really the main thing with this one.
That's probably my favorite thing about this one. I don't really like the swastikas all over it.
Yeah, okay, guys. Thursday, I'm gonna try to rub the swastikas off of the pottery.
Coming off.
Maybe Monday.
Yeah, so I want to do that, and I want to kind of script it and shoot it, you know, proper like a show, you know, set up everything and do my best to make it very consistent kind of style. And And it's going to be pseudo like realistic, kind of like Sugar Pine, but a little bit different too. Yeah.
What do you think that is, if you were to guess? Do you hear that noise?
That's a rake, dude.
What could you be raking?
Leaves.
We live in a pavement town.
There's leaves. Or he's crazy, man, and he's raking a
Keep talking. I'm going to CGI myself back in.
Okay.
Keep talking.
So, Mike, as I was saying...
you want to do the pottery thing?
Yeah, so the pottery thing's it's a personal project for me.
It is a rake.
Yeah, it's a rake, dude.
Oi! What the... I'll never understand.
Dude, I said oi, and he went...
Oi, what?
What, mate? What the fuck you doing, mate?
What the fuck you doing? Dude, I'll never understand... There's somebody raking a pool. We have somebody come in about once a week and rake the pool.
There are no leaves there.
There are no leaves. But he's not going to get paid.
He's having a mental breakdown, dude.
He's not going to get paid. You come rake the excess gravel off these fucking stone steps.
Each rake, he goes more and more insane. Yeah. So I want to do that.
Yeah.
Kib and I are also doing a little spinoff of
Cool.
Sugar Pine, and we're doing it. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm definitely going to keep doing stuff, and it's just about when it's going to start. You know, we want to, like, develop it more, my own thing by myself, and then this thing with me and him. But we also have some other potential things going on.
Nice, man. I think it's just important that you don't give yourself a rest for sure and like recharge your batteries and all that shit. But definitely don't, if you're a creative person, just keep making stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that, like, you can make stuff and it doesn't necessarily have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
But if you keep the ball moving and you keep moving forward, then you're not doing anything bad.
Yeah, I agree. I've been working on music and stuff too, just like making beats and stuff, and that's fun because
and it's good, and that's the weirdest part.
Man.
I
music's
like
good.
Yeah, yes.
You've heard the ones I'm working on that haven't put anywhere.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, I'm just like making shit, like whatever. Mm-hmm. Whether it's like hip hop or literally just like weird like scores and shit, like little soundscapes where it's basically like a moment in time stretched into the size of the universe.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Dude. Okay, this one's called Sunrise on Venus.
So you're him from now on.
I'm so glad you got that reference.
Yeah, of course, man. Do you have anything outside of like YouTube and stuff aside from music that you want to do? Like I know Kid was talking about getting into acting. I know we've talked about stand up a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I want to try, but then like what I really want to do is pitch a show or a movie to a company and get it picked up.
That's how you get your shit made. You put yourself in your own show.
I also want to like be able to just make a really good short film and like put it into festivals and do it that way. Like I want to have the opportunity to make these projects, these personal projects, and like do it the right way, like work my way up in that sense. Like here's a short film, put it in a festival, did pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool. That's momentum for the next thing.
And you know how to do all this shit now because of the last. And if nothing else, like now you have this like fan base that's just kind of waiting to see what happens next. And you have all these skills that you've developed over the past 2 years at least.
What's it been, like 4 or 5 years?
What's it been, like 7 years? Well, I'm excited for all you guys. That's, I texted you guys the other day.
Yeah.
And I'm I've had so many fucking awesome jobs and so many jobs that it seemed like they were just giving me money to like have fun.
Yeah.
And it ends and then you figure out what to do next and it's not the worst thing in the world.
No, it's not.
The hardest part, I'll make it about me for a second.
Sure.
The hardest part for me for SourceFed ending, and in all honesty, I wasn't that attached to the SourceFed thing. Like Steve obviously had been there pretty much since the beginning. And I had a bunch of friends come and go that were there since the beginning. And I watched it really hurt a lot of the people who worked on it. Yeah. But the hardest part for me was like, I knew I could show up, and then you guys would film something and the editors would take it and make it something great. And then we'd be making this really passionate audience happy for a little bit for that day.
Yeah.
And when that ended, I was like, if I was in their position, just waiting for that fun thing that I'm used to every day and it wasn't there, I'd be real bummed out. But it's also a real powerful thing to have. And you guys have that. And I know there's a lot of people who, there's some that might fall off just realistically, but
that's normal.
The ones that stay are the ones that you guys got to like nurture and take care of and always be appreciative of, which I know you guys all are.
Yeah.
But they're the ones who are going to be like, okay, well, we'll see what you got coming next, and we're excited for it.
That's actually exactly what I'm excited about. Not only to like work on things for myself to get like that fulfillment, but to show it to people that I know are going to enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Because I know like you can see like people that watch your stuff, like your fans and stuff, and you could say like, I know what your guys' taste is. You know what I mean? Because you watch your stuff and you like it. Yeah. So I know that you're going to like this stuff because you kind of already have like similar mindsets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the people making The Office, they're like, this episode, oh my God, they're going to fucking love this episode. Mm-hmm. And they do. And it's just like knowing that it's definitely some comfort, not to be like, oh, I don't have to worry about anything, but it's just like,
yeah,
I now have people to see the things that I'm going to work on. And
yeah.
I appreciate that so much.
And you're also like, you've all changed over the past 7 years.
Yeah,
or
I
so.
saw a ghost.
Yeah. You got real scared.
Got real scared as a ghost.
You were in a terrible car accident and you got that hair.
Like Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You married Frankenstein and
I hitchhiked and Large Marge sent me. Yeah.
But you're also not the type of people who will like creatively get stunted by what you've been through for the past 2 years. Like I know all you guys will keep like expanding on what you are, and that's also a real important thing. Like a lot of people get like a lot of success and they're just like a version of that for the rest of their lives, but you guys aren't like that, which is why I'm so excited to like all you guys, fucking Autumn, fucking the rest of them, you know, the head
me,
guy with the
fucking,
headband,
Autumn,
the tall one,
the tall short guy,
yeah. Even James, who I never really knew
or liked
me, what James did.
Or Jamie.
Jamie. But he's doing his fucking...
Yeah, he's doing his own channel now. He's already got some stuff that he's working on, and it's cool. Like,
all you guys are very driven. That's the thing. It's like no one wants to fucking be like, okay, that's done. Now I'm going to wait.
That's another reason why I'm like letting myself chill for a little while, because I'm like, I know that once you get past this slump and you get some momentum, it's going to be boom. Like take off again.
Yeah.
But I want to process everything that's going on so I don't crash down the line.
Smart.
And I feel it coming.
Good.
I feel it coming.
What if we ended this with a song that we sang together?
Oh, hold on, actually.
You gotta go.
Let's wrap it up.
Thank you so much again for watching Mike in the Morning. Ooh, I appreciate you being here so much. You know who else I appreciate? The sponsors of this channel. They give $5 every month, get 5 extra things, and one of those things is getting their name on the screen at the end of the video. So here's that.
Thank you guys so much for watching Mike in the Morning. Thank you to my guest.
Thank you to Mike's guest.
Thank you to Mike's guest.
We should work on something together.
Okay.
Like genuinely.
Yeah. I wanted you to have a segment on Mike in the Morning before, but you were all busy. So
Still
now
kind of busy. So.
All right, man. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. And cut, and cut.